This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.
Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very disappointed in this basketball game tonight. Very disappointed. Just a terribly played game by the Knicks. Turnover after turnover after turnover. Mistake after mistake after mistake. Even when they weren't turnovers, just mistakes. Shots that we took. Just a bad basketball game that the Knicks played tonight. By far, in my opinion, the worst of the playoffs. In my opinion, the worst played game of the playoffs for the Knicks. Just terrible. I mean, off of inbound plays, we're giving up backdoor cuts off of inbound plays. You know what I'm saying? It was just a rough outing for the Knicks tonight. You know what I'm saying? Bad plays. Josh Hart didn't help much. Mikal Bridges didn't. Mikal Bridges ended up with 17 points. But that doesn't tell the story of his game. Because for most of the game, he wasn't existent.
I seen a lot of misses, honestly.
A lot of
Especially
misses.
when they was going to him down the stretch, which was, I don't know what that was about.
Turning the ball over, missed shots, or bad shot selection. I mean, the one where Brunson threw it up ahead of, it was first half, threw it up ahead to him, and he caught it under the basket and then proceeded to turn around and fade away with 4 Pacers players coming in to rebound. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what? It was just bad play all the way around. You know what I mean? We deserved to lose tonight's game. And there was a point in time where we had things in the balance. It was 51-51 in the first half. We had come back from down 10 or whatever it was, tied the game up. Then we lose the lead again. A little bit later, we tie it up. And then, we're down 5 at half. All off of bad shot selection, turnovers, just bad plays altogether. And then, of course, our defense was terrible. You know what I'm saying? We deserve to lose tonight's game. You know what I'm saying? It's just, bad fouls at the wrong time. It was just... It was bad. Go ahead, Tone.
I only saw the fourth quarter. I don't know if by then maybe they was defeated, because in my eyes they just didn't look like they had the fight. You know what I mean? Like, they looked like they was just trying stuff. And I'm like, I'm confused, because I'm like, all right, maybe because I didn't see the first 3 quarters, they trying stuff that was working before. But I don't know.
The only thing that really worked at any point in time in this game was in the second quarter when Tyrese Halliburton wasn't in the game, and we started really playing good defense. Now, is that because Holly wasn't in the game or because the bench was playing good defense? I don't know. But, that's when we tied the game up at 51. Right? So that lineup that was in the game was OG Anunoby, Karl Anthony Towns, Wright, Landry Shamet, and somebody else. I don't even remember who it was. Deuce. And we got the game back 51-51. But as soon as Tyrese Halliburton came in the game, things just, they had their benching at the time. I think Pascal Siakam was in the game too. But then in the second half, when we went to that lineup, we went down 15. You know what I mean? The double big lineup didn't work. I mean, right from the beginning of the game, they were running. You know what I'm saying? Nothing much really worked for us tonight. You know, it was terrible.
Yeah. Look who's back. Jordan
Smith. Jordan, you deserve to be back. You deserve to call in, man. You know, the Knicks played terrible, and the Pacers played.
I mean, from what I could tell, pardon me, Halliburton had a career game. You know what I mean?
He was killing.
Like, more than a career game, like an NBA elite game. You know what I mean? Like, he's in a company that only a couple other people are in, and he's leading in that category with the triple double. You know what I mean? And no turnovers. So, yes, he played a hell of a game.
As much as I don't like the kid, he killed tonight. 32 points, 12 rebounds, 15 assists, no turnovers.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's his best game of the playoffs.
Oh, easily. He was knocking down shot after shot, made every right decision out there on the floor that he could make. You know what I'm saying? He played a hell of a basketball game. You know what I mean? Naismith plays incredible defense on Jalen Brunson. Makes it so tough for him to get a shot off. And you can tell the difference, right? When Ben Shepherd is on Brunson, Brunson abuses him. When they tried to put Benedict Mathurin on Brunson, Brunson was getting to the cup, getting fouled. As soon as Naismith got on Brunson, it's just, and the refs are allowing the bump, right? They're allowing, and they're probably allowing it because Brunson is, dipping the shoulder back, right? So they're like, okay, we're going to let it equal each other out. But Brunson can't get past him. Or when he does get past him, it's a struggle to get past him, and then, he really can't get the shot off. Just a tough game all the way around for the Knicks. You know what I mean? Tough game all the way around. I just seen someone in the chat say, is Halliburton outplaying Brunson in this series? He outplayed him tonight, for sure. There's no doubt about that. I think the thing is...
Sam, I'll be right back.
Yeah, I think the thing is, Halliburton and Brunson's game they play two different games. You know what I'm saying? Two different basketball games. Brunson is a score-first point guard. Halliburton is a pass-first point guard. But when he decides to get aggressive, he can obviously score the basketball. So when Halliburton is getting guys involved, when he has 15 assists, it's hard to stop Indiana when Halliburton is going off like this with 15 assists. One, he's making himself a threat by scoring the basketball. And then once he becomes a threat, now you might have to send another person. Now, once you send another person, he's going to find who's open. You know what I'm saying? And they're going to knock down shots. The Pacers shot 62% from the field tonight. I'm sorry, 51.1% from the field tonight. Benedict Mathurin shot 62%. They shot 40.6% from the three-point line tonight. They just played an efficient basketball game. The Knicks, just so many mistakes by the Knicks. Right? So many mistakes by the Knicks. The Knicks score a layup. The Pacers are up the floor that quick, and we're jogging next to them. Right? While they're sprinting up the court to score. That double big lineup, you already knew they were going to adjust. And Rick Carlisle said, you know what? They want that double big lineup out there on the floor. Push the pace. I don't care if it's a score. I don't care if it's a rebound. Push the ball up the floor. And they would attack it. They would attack that double big lineup, and we couldn't keep pace with that. We just couldn't keep pace with it. You know what I mean? If we're playing this tempo of a game, the Knicks can play it, but not against a team like Indiana because we don't have as many scorers as Indiana. We don't have as many efficient three-point shooters as Indiana. You know what I mean? So this isn't the kind of score you want. That 106-100, that's the kind of score you want. We're not going to keep pace against playing in Indiana like this. And a lot of that starts with, it's just simple. It's just simple mistakes. We score the ball, we don't have somebody in floor balance to make sure that they don't score in transition, or we're jogging back, right? I mean, little things like that. You know what I mean? We're forcing the pick and roll. Josh Hart, 4 turnovers. 4 turnovers, trying to force 5 turnovers, 4 of them in the first half, trying to force passes to Mitch. And all of these turnovers, a turnover never comes at an opportune time, but they can definitely come at an inopportune time. And it felt like our turnovers would come when we were in the midst of a run. You know what I'm saying? We stopped them on a few possessions, and boom, turnover. And sometimes we were turning the ball over in bunches, 2 and 3 turnovers in a row. Rick Carlisle did a good job really studying what players do, I think. You know what I mean? The Knicks do a lot of dribbling the ball to the corner for a turnover. For a handoff. Mm-hmm. Right? There will be times they dribble the ball to the corner, and here comes a trap. Right? You've seen it on Brunson. Brunson dribbled the ball right to the corner, and Halliburton. And you know what? I'm going to blame Bridges for this because I believe Halliburton was guarding Bridges, I believe. Right? So Bridges is on the other side of the floor, expecting that Halliburton's going to follow him there. Brunson is dribbling to the corner. Nobody relocates, and I'm going to say Bridges should have relocated to make sure that Tyrese Halliburton had to get to him. Instead, Halliburton recognizes, I don't have anybody here. Brunson can't even see him on the other side of the floor. Let me trap. Steal. Simple things like that. Simple things like that, that killed us all night long. You know what I mean? All night long. All night long. Just terrible. Anthony said the refs have been terrible. The refs were terrible. I won't lie. The refs were terrible. And I think there was a point in the game that was really, really crucial. When OG went to the basket, he got hit in the back, pushed in the back, hit in the back, no foul call. It comes down to the other end. OG tries to get a steal. It's a loose ball. Him and Benedict Mathurin crash, hit together. He knocks Benedict Mathurin out of bounds. They call a foul on OG. The rest proceed to call 4 fouls in like 12 seconds against the Knicks after that. Just terrible. And one of them was the loose ball foul on OG. Another one, Benedict Mathurin, goes to the basket, trips himself, right? Trips into Josh Hart. He falls into Josh Hart. Josh Hart has no choice but to fall over top of him, and the refs call a foul on Josh Hart. Come on.
Undercut him.
Yep. And the refs call a foul on Josh Hart. Like, what is that? And then Benedict Mathurin goes to the basket. Again, he's out of control, and he's falling, and they call a foul on Josh Hart. I think maybe it was Josh Hart again. That was a terrible, terrible sequence. You know what I'm saying? That was a terrible sequence. But the Knicks just played terrible, too. So now you take the Knicks playing terrible, turning the ball over, making mistake after mistake after mistake. Allowing the bumps on Cat, allowing the bumps on Brunson. So the Knicks are struggling in the half court. and then the Knicks are turning the ball over, like almost feeling like every other possession. 17 turnovers tonight for the Knicks. MRC 1987 said, we're coming back to the Garden 2-2. Oh, that must be old, because we definitely ain't coming back to the Garden 2-2. Definitely ain't coming back to the Garden 2-2. City 360 said, I absolutely hate the Pacers. So do I. It's like they have our number, but let's not be too upset. We made it to the Eastern Conference Finals playing primarily 7 players. I mean, I dig that. I get that. And we did get our first Eastern Conference Finals win in 25 years, but we can do so much. We can play so much better than this. We lost by 9.
True.
Right?
That's true.
You know, I mean.
But, I mean, it's still year one.
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
We've been talking about all the growing this team has to do collectively, you know what I mean? Being new together and learning each other. And this might be, you know what I mean? Not to say it in a bad way, but this might be like the most pinnacle moment, and it's showing the most that these guys still got to learn each other's tendencies. Like, they're still making they're making new teammate mistakes type situations that we didn't really see all year, but
Right.
it's at the highest level of
Yeah.
you know, basketball pressure.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying they folded. I'm saying they not used to each other.
Nah, I dig that. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. You know what I'm saying? I definitely agree. It's just hard. It's tough for me because when I look at the score is 130-121, right? And I look at where the Knicks were, if they took care of the ball better, this could be a very different basketball game. If they closed the game in game 1, it could be a very different series right now. You know what I'm saying? Though, and you're probably right. You know, it's a learning experience. They got to figure it out as a team. But you look at it in real time, and you're like, we know they can play better than this. You know, and maybe the moment is not allowing them to play. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they're a little starstruck. I don't know.
I don't know if it's that, but I don't think they even know. And this is Tibbs as well, but whatever. I don't think they know when to feed who. You know what I mean? Like the all year, it's really been about Brunson, right?
Mm-hmm.
And everybody just kind of get in where you fit in. We know we got the talent. At some point, it has to be more than just the talent. It has to be the cohesion, the chemistry. You know what I mean? The knowing each other's tendencies. The knowing, all right, he should be hot tonight, or this should be a Towns type game. All right, if it looked like Mikal has the advantage, like we've never really utilized that, and we never really utilized our bench either. So you face a team that is really utilizing every avenue they can,
right,
collectively, from each player, you know what I mean? Like it becomes difficult to try to match that late in the game, or late in the series.
In the season. Yeah.
Late in the season.
Atmosphere Audio said traded 5 picks for a ham sandwich. No boar's head either. Refs inconsistent. Whistle killed our momentum in the 4th. I watched Naismith suplex Jalen Brunson. I mean, you know, the series has definitely gotten physical, and the refs are allowing it a little bit to get physical. I do think there's a lot of bumping going on. You know, Brunson's getting bumped, Cat's getting bumped, and the calls aren't being made. I do believe that, but the Knicks can still play better. City 360 said, we need to go to Miami. We need to go the Miami Heat route and get some hungry dogs from the G League. Dudes that'll snatch your chain when they come off the bench the New York way. We definitely need some goons out there. Got too many nice guys.
Hungry guys, but You get all those guys you want. Are they gonna play? Are they gonna be utilized? You know what I mean? Like we need talent
I
more
still,
than that.
yeah, exactly. I still believe you have talented guys. They're gonna play. Um, the bench gave us a boost last game. It didn't work as much in the second half this tonight. You know what I'm saying? Although I think you could have used Wright instead of Josh Hart because Josh Hart was playing terribly. He did have 11 rebounds tonight, 12 points, 11 rebounds, but the turnovers, 6 turnovers. Does Wright give you, that amount of rebounds and points? I don't know.
But that's 6 more possessions.
So I mean, it's tough. It's tough. It's a tough loss tonight. Karl Anthony Town banged his knee. So we'll see how much that bothers him next game. You know what I mean? Sean, you said Wright didn't play the whole second half. I hate Tom Thibodeau. To be fair, when that lineup was in, the Knicks went down 15. You know what I'm saying? And Tom Thibodeau's gonna have a quick hook. Now, the group that did come back in brought the game to within 6. I think it's maybe the closest we were. Didn't have enough to get over the hump though.
I don't remember 6. I remember 7 consistently.
No, I remember it was 93-87.
Okay. I mean, that's fair. I'm just saying. I
think Karl Anthony Towns had a chance to get it to 5 at one point. He missed the free throw. There was another point he had a chance to get it to 5. He missed the free throw and it kept it at 6. But I think that's the closest we came. We were down 5 at half, but that's the closest we came. I think is to getting it to within 6. We just couldn't get over the hump. We couldn't get out of our own way. Turnovers, not grabbing rebounds. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I don't know.
It's gonna be interesting now.
Very. I'll
say this, man. I've been stuck at work. You know what I mean? This whole series. I could watch the next 3 games. So that from beginning to end, it's already scheduled in. So
yeah. Sean said, no, Sim, don't do that. Wright didn't play the whole second half. He was a part of the 15-point play. I'm not saying that it was Wright's fault. I'm just saying that he was part of it. And so you know how Tom Thibodeau is. He's gonna have he has a quick hook for certain players, right? So I'm just saying he was part of it. Not saying it was his fault. As a matter of fact, I said he probably could have played for Josh Hart. So during that stretch that he was on the bench. Or Mikal Bridges. I mean, Mikal Bridges did hit a couple of threes in the fourth quarter. You know what I'm saying? But
you see your man, Sim?
Who?
Jordan.
Take it easy. Take it easy.
Because I said I'm home for the next 3 games. You know what I mean?
Hey, Jordan, take it easy. Not many teams have come back from down 3-1, but it's happened. Take it easy. Take it easy. We going one game at a time. All we got to do is win the next one. Then after we win the next one, we shift the pressure back to Indiana. And we win that one. Game 7 is anybody's ball game. So let's take it easy. Right? Let's take it easy. Take it easy. Well, if Wright didn't play the whole second half, then whatever. The bench guys that was in there allowed it to get, I don't want to say they allowed it, but it went to a 15-point lead when it was in there. It is what it is. He could have played for either Josh Hart or Mikal Bridges. I definitely agree with that. Let's put it like that. Let's just say that. It don't matter to me. We lost that joint. You know, we got cooked tonight. You know what I mean? We just terrible. Just terrible. You know what I mean? You know, for game 5? We can't let them get out and run in transition. If we allow them to get out and run in transition the way that they did tonight, we'll be in trouble. Right? We gotta figure out a way to slow them down in that manner. I don't know how we do it, but we can't do it. We can't do it by trying to take fast shots. Right? If we're gonna take those type of shots, as a matter of fact, let me see. DeLon Wright played 1 minute and 57 seconds in the fourth quarter, so he was part of that. He was part of that 15-point run. He was part of that run because the bench didn't come in until the fourth quarter. He didn't play in the third. Wright played 1 minute and 57 seconds in the fourth. That was like the top of the fourth quarter, and that's when they started going on a run. So, you know, that's where it was. But we can't allow, you know, I mean, I don't want to say saying we can't allow them. It's hard because it's hard to stop them with the way that they run. You know what I'm saying? It's very hard to stop them. But we can't aid in it by taking quick and bad shots, and we can't aid in it by turning the ball over, because we fuel their fast breaks. We fuel their transition when we do that. They killed us in transition tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, them numbers.
They killed us in transition tonight. You know what I'm saying? And we aided it. We helped them along. You know what I mean? We helped them along. I don't know. I'm a little depressed. I ain't gonna front. I'm a little bit depressed. Tonight, though, ladies and gentlemen, the Knicks were led in scoring by Jalen Brunson, 36 points, 11 assists, 3 rebounds. Shot 48% from the field and 41.7% from the three-point line. But, you know, every shot seemed to be, you know, tough to come by for Jalen Brunson. And in the fourth quarter, he didn't do much. Right. He didn't do much.
He was giving it to Mikal.
He didn't do much in the fourth quarter. Mikal Bridges had 20 points tonight. Ended up with 20 points, 7 rebounds. Karl Anthony Towns, 20 points, 7 rebounds. OG Anunoby, 16 points. I thought OG had more than 16 points. I might be looking at the wrong one. Let me go backwards because I thought Mikal had 17. Let's see, where we at tonight? See, the Knicks got me all messed up now. I'm sorry. Jalen Brunson had 31 points, 5 assists, 2 rebounds tonight. Shot 47% from the field and 33% from the three-point line. I was looking at the previous game. Karl Anthony Towns, 24 points, 12 rebounds. OG Anunoby had 22 points. Mikal Bridges had 17 points. Mitchell Robinson, 6 points, 7 rebounds, played 18 minutes and 49 seconds. Off the bench, Deuce had 3 points. Precious played 2 minutes in the first half. Wright, 9 minutes, had 3 points. Landry Shamet played 11 minutes and had 3 points. Just not enough for the Knicks.
I heard Precious came in. At this point, does Tibbs make another lineup adjustment, or do you rock out?
I think the only reason why Precious came in is because Karl Anthony Towns got in foul trouble in the first quarter. And then Mitch had some fouls. And so instead of bringing Cap back in, he brought Precious in.
No. I'm talking about starting, like, if they figured out the Mitch thing, you know what I mean? Does he make the Deuce move? Or do you think you still rock out with the I mean, because now
rock out with that lineup.
Wait, honestly, like, I was surprised he did something prior to it being like you know what I mean, do or die situation, because usually that's when he makes his adjustments as far as tips, like the
Right.
lineup adjustments. I ain't got no other.
I don't think he can go with that double big lineup again. And this right now just shows you how desperate we are, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? Because if we have to switch up the lineup again, the Pacers ain't switching up their lineup,
That I
right?
mean,
Because because they got the lead, but they play how they play, and we got to match that. You know what I'm saying? And us, we're grasping for straws, trying to find lineups that work. You know what I'm saying? I think good teams, championship level teams, this is how we play, and y'all got to match the way we play. You know what I mean? When you got to start changing your lineups and that this deep in the playoffs, I think you're in trouble.
I agree with that 100%. But this is the time. Like,
I mean,
here we go.
yeah. I mean, he can't go back out with a double big. They're running all over it.
I'm not surprised if they do, but it's gonna be interesting. I mean, if he does.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be mad if he tries something else too.
For
for
real. I would try something. I wouldn't mind trying Precious.
But like you said, well, I'm saying people are gonna judge him off of that because, like you said, it's not a bad look. It's the second time you grasping for straws.
Right. You know what I mean? I think I wouldn't mind trying Precious. Just because of the switchability on defense.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Now, I guess without Josh Hart in there, you lose a guy that can push the pace, but it's not working for us. You know what I mean? It's not working for us.
We gotta get the rebound, but we may not push the pace. He might not push the pace, but he's a sprinter, so he does push the pace in that sense.
Right, he can run the floor. Yeah. Get to a couple more of these super chats here.
Jack City calling.
Canberry. Thank you for the super chat. Definitely appreciate you, my brother. Said the real conversation is the Knicks went down at least 15 and 80% of the playoffs, down 20 points in like 30% of the games. How did we even get here? That's true. We did. And it's crazy. In all these playoff games, we're down 15, we're down 20, and we managed to come back. I think it does show the fortitude of the team, right? The mental toughness of the team, but you can't expect to do that every time.
And for the most part, it was Brunson. You know what I mean? If you put a percentage, it was 90% Brunson or 85% Brunson, and then you know what I mean. You split the other 3% up, 5% up 3 ways. Right. But
yeah, Jack City, thank you for the super chat. You'll get a chance to call in. I promise you, bro. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get to a phone call now. Kareem, what's popping with you, man? How you feeling?
Hey, what's up, fellas? How's it going, man?
Grappling with the loss, bro.
Man, this game, like you said, we beat ourselves in this game. Like you made a point where every time we make a run, we start turning the ball over. At the end of the game, I wanted to kick my TV out the window. I'm like, if the game is on the line, it's 2 minutes left. If Mikal Bridges, if you throw up one of them brick mid-range shots one more time, we're going to pay somebody to kidnap you, bro. What are we doing? What are we doing? Karl Anthony Towns, you get 2 early fouls. You out the game. And you need to start going off because who can stop you on that team when you're going off? It's like you've been super inconsistent for the entirety of the playoffs, bro. Very frustrating game. Very frustrating.
My bad. Very, very, very frustrating game. Yeah,
and then here we go with the people with the Tibbs scenario. He played the bench. like let's be real. By next year, who gonna be in a war room? Like, yo, you know who we need to add to the rotation? Cameron Payne, Shannon, and Wright. No one is doing that. They'll be in China next year. No one wants those dudes. We don't have a bench that could bring it every night. We just don't have it.
I feel you.
We knew that coming into the season. How we see now? We forgot that now? Who believed in this bench at the start of the season? No one did. We critiqued it before the season even started. We started critiquing the lack of depth we had on the bench and no backup center. Now all of a sudden this bench finna take us to the promised land. There's a train, it's coming. No, it's not.
Yeah. I feel you. But listen, we still got at least one game left. We get that game, we move on to the next one. You know what I'm saying? We still listen, I'm riding till I die, baby. I'm riding till we die. I'm riding till we die. And we got to figure out.
We got 3 games left. So.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm riding till we die.
Tony said he got 3. He said he finally got a change in the schedule. Don't do that to him now.
Yo, I'm riding till we die. You know what I'm saying? Riding till we die. We just got to figure out. We got to figure out how to get one. We got to get one. We get one on Thursday. At a time, man. We get one on Thursday, and then Game 7 is on Saturday, and then after that is the real Game 7. You know what I'm saying? Well, all of the games are Game 7 because it's an elimination game.
Yeah, you face elimination, exactly.
You know what I mean?
I'm looking at this game and I'm like, yo, we sometimes we just look like we don't want it. Or like when the time comes to put in the work and like you said, you gotta run, you put it down to 4 points. And it was always 4 points, 6 points, then they would take a 9-point lead again.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, get a stop, turnovers. It's like, dude, you here now. You need to show up. Then also the end of the game, right?
Mm-hmm.
End of the game, I want Brunson or Cat with that ball. Stop passing it to the game was on the line. Cook, make something happen. Your contract show you make stuff in big moments. Make it happen in the big moments.
But this is what's happening, right? When Brunson or Cat get the ball and they get in the paint, they're sending 3 guys, 4 guys, and and every single one of them is fouling. Every single one of them is fouling. They can only call a foul on one person at a time, and half the time they're not calling the foul. Every single one of them dudes is fouling. You know what I'm saying? So they get in there, and there's 3 people around them. They gotta try to kick it out, and then we're not taking advantage of those kickouts. Yeah.
Now, I definitely agree with that. And that's why I say in my critique, I had it since last season. And he's done better this season. I give him that with Brunson plays off ball a lot sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll start getting good shots. Corner threes, he knocks them down. Cat, bro, I don't know what you do at times. Like, I have a lot of, like, scratch my head moments with Cat. Like, and also, but, like Tony said, this is the first year. So what I'm hoping is that I always say today's NBA and many coaches don't do it. And this is why Rick Carlisle is here now. He's going to possibly make it to the finals. He simplified his offense, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And that's what you have to do. Brunson and Cat and pick and roll sets, who's stopping that? You need to draw them up over the summer.
Right.
Draw some of them. There needs to be plays to simplify things. And we got to do too much for a bucket. It's too much.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
But
Brunson is beat. Like he in tip top shape. And he look like me going out there.
Yeah. We definitely got to get just some more action. Using Cat in different ways, but Cat is, he can be clumsy sometimes. He can do great.
Yes,
he can do great things sometimes, and sometimes he can be clumsy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree.
I've seen him make some really good aggressive moves in this series, You know what I'm saying? Some really nice, especially last game and a few of them tonight. Now, I do have to admit, though, the refs are allowing Pascal Siakam to bump him all over the place. Every time he gets the ball, they're like, he's taking his hips and just banging them. You know what I'm saying? And then guys, it's like how you can't even let him move. He can't even move because there's so many, because they're just bumping him off his block every time. It's crazy.
Devil, first of all, pause. That was crazy. Now, I agree with you, and I'm glad you said that because I was going to bring it up. That's also, I got to give Siakam credit. He's taking advantage of the matchups that he's been getting. If Cat is on him, it's a bucket. It's a bucket. Or he's going to bait him into a foul. He's been taking advantage. We have no one to stop him. No one has put it, it just hasn't worked.
Yeah.
So he's definitely taking. Now that Cat is playing a 4, it's barbecue chicken. Yep. So it's insane, bro. And then Cat don't get calls anyway.
No.
Cat gets abused and they don't give him calls. But then you call on him and they get the foul. He gets a foul. People use his momentum against him and bait into it's just ridiculous. I mean, how much he doesn't get calls.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I would like to see, man. I don't understand it. There are a lot of 1-2 big and point guards, and I don't see them simplify having a 1-2 game. It's many of them. It's they don't play off of each other.
Yeah.
Whether it's Sabonis when there was Darren Fox and Sabonis. That's barbecue chicken right there.
So let me. I'm gonna feed off of what you just said in a second, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sean Richardson just said Thibodeau's offensive playbook is the death of the Knicks. The Pacers ain't that good, and OKC will prove that. Obviously, they are that good. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, they're gonna get. I said that they're gonna get. If they make the finals, I think the Knicks will be a better matchup in the finals than them. They getting sent home in 4, in my opinion.
I don't know.
They're no match for OKC.
I mean, we'll see, but Sean
you think I dragged it too much? I might have dragged it too much.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, by Sean saying the Pacers ain't that good,
they probably won one game.
I disagree because they've been from
I
January.
disagree with that too, Tiz. They're a very good team.
Yeah, from January to now, they've been one of the best teams in the league since January. So that's not true. But I think the telecast
and
said
let's
something.
Not act like their coach don't got a ring too.
Yeah, and the telecast today said something pretty good, right? That I think people should, when we talk about the offense and this and that, right? And they said a lot of times your offense is going to be based on the skill set of your point guard.
Your point guard. Mm-hmm.
Right? And you look at Tyrese Halliburton as a pass-first point guard. He's got very good vision. You know what I'm saying? He sees plays before they happen. I don't like the guy, but I know what he does as a player. You know what I'm saying? And he's a very good passer. That was the reason why I wanted to draft him.
Yeah, we wanted him. We didn't want Obi Toppin. We wanted him.
But, he's a very good passer. And, if you are going to have the kind of offense that people would like to see the Knicks play, the kind of offense that Indiana's playing, or you got to have someone who's going to be able to distribute like that. Push the ball up the court like that. You know what I'm saying? Now, your outside players, your wings, can be trained to get up the court, but I don't know if you can teach your point guard that kind of court vision. You know what I mean?
Nah, the dude, I'll give you that, son. He's a hell of a point guard, right? He's and I know the Kings, I don't know what they were thinking, right? I don't know why, but hey, that's why they ain't winning nothing.
Yeah.
That's another story. But the dude is a hell of a point guard. I won't say, me personally, I don't dislike him. I don't dislike him. He frustrates me. Because, and you know what the argument now we're going to have to hear and I'm mad about? Oh, y'all said that we only beat y'all because y'all were injured. Now they beating us with a full roster.
Well,
so, you understand what I'm saying? So we got to give it to them. They have outplayed us.
Mm-hmm.
And we got to make this roster better with this 3-year window, because not only do you have them that are good, you gonna take you a little bit more to beat the Celtics next year because they're gonna have blood. Yeah. Now everybody's getting better now.
Yeah.
Teams are getting better every year. Detroit is going to be a threat years to come.
We're gonna get better.
Orlando's going to get better.
We're gonna get better too. This is our first year together, so we're gonna get better.
Well, I ain't gonna lie. We need to make that bench better.
Yeah.
Because we ain't gonna get better without a bench.
No doubt. Anyway, Kareem, I appreciate you, man.
All right, one game at a time. Hopefully, I hope y'all enjoy it. I'm superstitious now. I don't want to watch the heartbreak, so I'm gonna just check the score after every game. I can't do
watching.
I'm watching all 3 games, bro.
Because I still believe we can. I'm watching because I believe we can win.
Hopefully, man, we got to like you
watching.
said, make better decisions with the ball and one game at a time.
That's it. That's it.
All right, fellas, have a good night.
All right, peace.
All right.
Let me tell you what, people talk about the offense, this and that. Let me tell you what type of peace allows us to do that while still having Brunson out there on the floor. A facilitator out there in the Josh Hart position. Right? Instead of Josh Hart, having a facilitator out there. You know what I mean? 6'7", 6'8" facilitator. You know what I mean? You get one of those guys. Now that guy can facilitate and create for everyone else, and Brunson is going to be able to get his. But now you got a guy that's facilitating for everybody else. You know what I'm saying?
If only he was built for New York, man.
Who you talking about?
The same guy you mentioned.
That 6'10" guy?
Yep.
Yeah, that 6'10" guy.
If only he was built for New York.
I mean, we some other guys on this team that can take the bullets.
They will.
Right? It's some other guys on this team that can take the bullets.
They will. He will be defended. He will be sheltered and shielded. Yeah. For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Some other guys on this team that can take the bullets, and just allow him to not shoot, facilitate, play some defense, rebound here and there. You know what I'm saying? That guy, and he can play defense.
Yeah. First team.
You know what I'm saying? And he can play defense. That guy can, and you might be able to get him at a decent price. You know what I'm saying? Somebody in the chat got it.
No.
But we'll talk about that later. Yeah, I'm talking about Ben Simmons, but we'll talk about that later. We still got a series here. You know what I'm saying? We still got a series here, and I still think we can come back. I'm sorry, Jordan. I'm rocking with my team. All we got to do is win one in the Garden and go from there. I still believe we can come back and push this to 7 games. I'm riding out to the end. Corey from Rochester, what's popping, bro?
What's going on with you, Sim? What up, Tom?
Chilling.
Peace, family.
Chilling.
Oh, man. Well, this I can't get too upset about because we did get down by a 20-point hole.
15 points.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's a lot, but at least it was still competitive, at least through the first half of the game.
Mm-hmm.
And man, but them Pacers, man. I mean, I can't front. I mean, they're just more hungrier. Not trying to say the Knicks are not competitive, but it's tough to beat a team that's got like speed and more agility because you can't coach speed.
Right.
You got to try to just keep up the best way you can. Now, my thing for Game 5, I'm hearing your confidence that you say they could still come back, and I like that confidence because
we can come back.
I don't say my team is done until that 0-0-0 hits the clock, and then you say, okay, this is done. But nah. I always told you got to have faith in the team no matter what, because you never know. A 3-1 series, anybody can still make history. We still got a chance to make history.
We can come back. I'm telling you, we can come back. We just got to win the first game. We just got to win game 5. We win game 5, then we focus on game 6. You win game 6, we're both in the same boat for game 7, except it's at the Garden. So let's start and get game 5.
Yeah, still one game at a time, but now, even though you think it's one game at a time, now you got to play like every game is your game 7 now.
2 of them. You got to play. I mean,
2 of them.
Let's put it like this. The Pacers, no team wants to relax, but they could afford to relax. The Knicks can't. They win 2, now neither team can afford to relax. You're in the same boat. So, obviously to win the series, you got to win 3 games. But all you got to do is win 2 to put that opposing team in the same boat as you. You know what I'm saying? So let's get game 1. Get game 5, push it to game 6. You know what I'm saying? And watch the pressure shift. Watch the pressure shift.
That's all we could try to do.
You know what I mean? I believe we can do it. I believe
no matter what.
I believe we can do it. I believe we can push it to game 7, and then anything can happen in game 7 at the Garden.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I think we can do it.
Well, yeah. But the one thing that disappointed me, and I'm gonna just keep it real with you, between that second half, that Josh Hart, to me, is making too many critical, unforced turnovers. I understand he's trying to push the pace, but sometimes he's got to just take it easy. I understand you trying to do what you can do to get the team back in the game, but these unforced turnovers just leads to too many critical mistakes. And that's the reason why the Pacers won that game, because we made more turnovers than they did. They hardly they didn't make that many.
Yeah.
And Jalen Brunson, of him supposed to be the clutch leader, I've seen him done some critical mistakes too. And I'm like, and he talking about he got to play better. But now, what's the pressure going to be on you on this brink of elimination now? What's going to be the pressure on you and Hart now?
Yeah. The Knicks have got to take care of the ball. Jack City, I see you.
I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, one second,
Got
Corey.
to take care of the ball.
Hey, Corey, 1 second. Jack City, I see you calling in. When someone else is on the line, it goes to voicemail. You know what I'm saying? When someone else is on the line, it goes to voicemail. So I apologize about that. Go ahead, Corey.
Oh, hey Tony. What will you think about Game 5? The most important thing for the Knicks to survive Game 5 to force Game 6, bro.
Number one, I'm gonna be watching.
Word up.
You know what I mean? Like, I get to watch the game, so you know what I mean. I don't gotta wait till the fourth quarter to kind of hope they figure it out. A quick start. You know what I mean? They gotta get off early. You know what I mean? They gotta play with the lead again. We haven't done that since Game 1. Or at least it don't really feel that way. You know what I mean? And so let's get back in that situation and let them play uphill.
Yeah, and I've been saying that too, and I agree with you 100%. And
strategically though, we got to get them in foul trouble too, or at least their main guys. Let's see how they're not very good in the non-Halliburton minutes, so I haven't seen us really try to attack him at the way we should. So put some pressure on him early, see if we get him in foul trouble, and then after that, go down the line. Who's the next threat? You know what I mean? Siakam, boom. Let's attack him.
Yeah, I think we got to take care of the ball. We can't feed to their transition, feed to their high-paced game by turning over the basketball. We got to take better shots. I thought tonight we took some, sometimes we took some dumb shots. You know what I'm saying? Which is going to feed their high-paced, high-octane offensive game. You know what I'm saying? We got to continue to dominate the boards. Right? We out-rebounded them by 11 tonight. We've got to continue to do that so that we don't allow them to get out and run. We can grab offensive boards. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then obviously we got to be able to play defense and get stops, which is much easier said than done against them, no doubt about it, especially when Halliburton is playing the way he played tonight. But we got to be able to get stops and then score when we get those stops. There were a few times where we got stops and we stalled their offense, but we didn't score.
Right. And that still played into their hands.
Right.
And then made the game struggle more.
Yeah.
And I started watching that between the game and the score on my phone. I said, see, if we're not capitalizing on their key misses that we need, and plus, another crazy thing that's been going on in the series, though, Tony and Sim, that they've been killing us on offensive rebounds.
Who has?
That the Pacers have been killing us on offensive rebounds.
Yeah.
We can't forget about that stat either.
Right. We got an uphill battle to climb. You know what I'm saying? We got an uphill battle, but we can do it.
Well, maybe this might be good for us because, probably, when the next season comes and if the Knicks could try to stay healthy the way they are, now they could feel the experience that now they finally went to the ECF, and maybe you never know.
Yeah, you never know. Well, I mean, I'm not done. I'm not done with this season yet. We got more basketball to play.
No.
Whenever this is over for the Knicks, whenever it's over for the Knicks, we can really dig into the off season. But I'm still riding with this. I still feel like Tony. We got 7 games. We got 3 games left to this series.
Oh yeah, Knicks gotta know it ain't over, and they gotta just have that mindset. Just feel like feel like it's not over. They know it ain't gonna be easy, but now they gotta really believe like we can try to do the impossible.
And we gotta do it.
Because I know they can't get too far ahead of themselves.
One game at a time, baby.
Like Mikel said,
one game at a time.
Still doing one game at a time.
One game at a time, baby. One game at a time. Get the one at the Garden, then we send it back to Indiana.
That's the desperate one.
You know what I'm saying? Get the one at the Garden, send it back to Indiana. As a matter of fact, you know what we need to do? Somebody needs to send the Knicks. There's a Freddie Gibbs song about the Knicks. Freddie Gibbs is from Indiana. He's from Gary. He's from Gary, right? We need to send it to the Knicks. Let them listen to it in the locker room. We talk about Jordan dropping, whatever on the Knicks. LeBron dropping 56 on the Knicks and what he was doing. It's a dope song.
Oh, okay. Pretty good.
Maybe that'll motivate. Maybe that'll motivate the players a little bit. That is a rapper from Gary, Indiana. Talk about the Knicks getting beat by these superstars. Something.
Well, yeah, that's a big possibility.
I'm gonna send it to him on Twitter.
Okay.
We need something. We need bulletin board material or something. Fans, we gotta do whatever we can. We gotta do whatever we can to help motivate our team. You know what I'm saying? I know we all feel bad. We feel down right now, but teams have come back from down 3-1. Let's make history. Let's make history.
Yeah.
It starts Thursday, right? Thursday. Let's make history.
Yeah.
Let's make history.
That's why they say you never give up hope for nothing. Just to the end.
Let's make history, baby. Let's make history. Corey, I appreciate it, man.
I appreciate you too. You too, Tom.
All right, peace.
Peace, family.
Peace.
Let's make history, man. I know it's a tough time right now, but let's make history. Size 9 wants me to call out Mitch.
And he said, I highlighted the comment. It wasn't Sim. It was me. I was the one champion Mitch. To be honest, like, and not for nothing, he's been great the entirety of these playoffs, other than maybe the last 2 games.
Size 9, what are we calling him out for? That's what I want to know. Because I feel like, in the beginning of the season, I thought maybe this double big lineup could work. Now that I see it in the playoffs against teams like this, it won't work because I don't think we're fast enough. So Mitch is probably out there in a compromising position over the last 2 games. So what are you calling him out for? That's what I want to know. See, when he was out there with Randall had more switchability, so Randall could play the 4. He's playing the 5. You don't have the same issues. Now he's out there. He's still playing the 5, but him and Cat, they basically got the same kind of speed. So now them two are kind of can switch back and forth between playing the 4 and the 5. And a team like Indiana is taking advantage of those matchups. I think it's kind of putting him in a bad situation. Now, if he was out there without Cat, it might, he'd probably look different. But right now he's playing with Cat, and it's not looking good for him. I don't think it's all on Mitch.
And he played 18 minutes, so it's not like his minutes was up there tonight.
Yeah, I mean he had 7 rebounds tonight in 18 minutes and 49 seconds. Trey from Maryland, what's up, man?
Tim, what's good, man?
Not a lot. Not a lot at all.
Man. Tony Crow, shout out to you, man. Knicks and bruises. Yeah, that's what we feeling tonight, man.
Yeah.
Whole bunch of bruises. But I said before this series started that the one thing that I was concerned about against this Pacers team is the turnovers. Because they like to get out in transition, they turn you over, and they get the points off the turnovers. And you go to game 1, 15 turnovers, game 2, 12, last game 3, 12 turnovers, and tonight a whopping 17 turnovers. It's about an average of 14 turnovers per game. And that's just not clean basketball for this team. And it looks so good on the Pacers side because of the fast break points that they get off of those turnovers. And that's been one of the things that's been killing us. I mean, despite, some of these games, in-game situations that have been close, I felt like this one was the one that really kind of got away from us. And then, with as far as the lineups are concerned, there's a saying in football, and I guess you could say it in basketball too, is, you stick with what's working until the other team can prove they could stop it.
Right.
Well, it was proven that Shamet and DeLon Wright's minutes in Game 3 were perfect minutes because the Pacers couldn't get nothing. They couldn't get their offense going when those guys were in the lineup. So as I'm sitting here and the quarter number 3 is going to start, and they go up, 5-point deficit, and they go from that to 11 points real quick, and it's like, all right, you got to call timeout here, and you got to get DeLon Wright and Shamet out here at some point in the third quarter. And you never saw those guys in the third quarter, and I think that's what makes people so frustrated with this coaching staff is that they clearly see the data. They clearly see watching the Game 3 situation and how this thing works, and yet they're going back to what hasn't worked, what has proven to not work against this particular team. We're just talking about against the Pacers, not Boston, not Detroit. We're talking about strictly against this Pacer team that the starting 5 is not effective on the defensive end, and they get careless with the ball. Josh Hart, he shouldn't have got those minutes. He shouldn't have played 36 minutes total with, 6 turnovers. 5 of them in the first half. Just an all-around frustrating night, man, with this team. I'm down on the coach. I mean, I know, I've had some positive things to say in the past, but I'm just kind of down on him right now with this situation.
Yeah, the only thing I would say about the bench tonight in the first half, um, I don't know. I don't know. In the first half, when they played in the first half, they brought it. It was a 51. They made it 51-51.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
But that was, of course, without Tyrese Halliburton on the floor, and so Indiana's offense really did sputter at that point in time.
they were kind of adjusting a little bit to what they saw from Game 3. I could understand that.
Yeah. Now in the third quarter, basically, Tom Thibodeau was trying to match from what I could see the time that Halliburton was on the floor, right? So if Halliburton's on the floor, Brunson's on the floor,
Yeah,
right? And Tyrese Halliburton didn't come out of the third quarter until like 20 seconds left. Nemhard came in for Tyrese Halliburton, and Pascal Siakam came in for Toppin. So Tibbs kind of does that matching the players type of thing. When he does his substitutions. So I don't know if that's one of the reasons why. But now at the top of the fourth quarter, and the Knicks, for most of the third quarter, they did go up 11, then they got it back down to 6. I think the closest 83-77. They got it there. 85-80, 87-80, 87-82, 89-84. And then from there, of course, 93-87 with 1:57 left in the third. Then from there, the Pacers go on and spurt again, right? We start turning the ball over.
Yeah.
Right? We turn the ball over, take a dumb shot, do whatever. And then next thing you know, it's an 11-point lead going into the fourth quarter.
Yeah. I thought that lineup sat out there too long, though, in the third. Like to start the third, I thought it was out there too long. I get the whole matching, you want to match Halliburton with Brunson, but some of them other guys could have, got some rest. Like you could have gave OG some rest. You could have definitely gave Bridges some rest. I mean, Bridges wasn't all that great.
He needed to sit down for a while.
Either.
Then let me see, top of the fourth quarter, they extended out to a 111-96 lead. Tibbs takes all the subs out, all the bench out, and puts the starters back in, and it basically stays at a double-digit lead until we get down the stretch.
Yeah, that was, at least on the coaching side, that was part of the mistake, was just going back to what wasn't working instead of sticking with at least what was working. Because, they didn't really stifle them when it was 51-51, but they at least was trying to give their offense a chance to, get themselves together.
Yeah, I don't know what we do with this team. Besides support them, man.
It's disappointing. It's a disappointing night, man. You got to take advantage of these opportunities. It's like life comes at you fast,
right?
In this NBA. You think your window's open, and then
boom.
Look at Boston.
Right.
Boston thought their window's open. Now their best players got to rehab for a full year next year, and they're not going to be able to contend for a championship. You look at Milwaukee and, Giannis, the rumors of him wanting to get up out of there. And, for the Knicks, to look at those two situations in the conference, this is like the time now. Like this is where you really got to take advantage of those, championship window opportunities. I feel like they're going to have it next year if all goes well. Players are healthy. Leon, builds up the bench a little bit better. We'll see what happens with the coaching staff. But in this new NBA where we're gonna have a 7th different champion, this season. You got to strike when the iron's hot.
No, I agree.
And yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just saying I agree. We got to strike when it's hot. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Got to strike when it's hot.
It's just as quickly as the window can get open, it could shut pretty fast.
Exactly. See, well, Trey, I appreciate the call. Definitely appreciate the call.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna get game 5.
Hopefully, we got 5. Some more games in us, man.
We got hopefully we got 3 more games at least.
Yeah, I think the key for the Knicks here is, look, if you're gonna go down swinging. Don't let them celebrate on your home court.
No doubt about that. If you're gonna go out in 6.
Yeah. If you win game 5, cool. If you win game 6, cool. But if you get it back for game 7, you better win that.
You're gonna win that game 7, baby.
You better win it. Word. Yeah.
No doubt. All right, Trey. Appreciate it, man.
All right, y'all.
All right.
Peace, guys.
Peace. Jan Rock, thank you for the super chat. He said the team also lacks enough athleticism. Yeah, we could use some more athleticism. Spree, what's popping with you, man?
Sam, I'm upset.
I know you
like
are.
Everybody else.
I know you are.
I want a new basketball coach.
You blaming it all on Tibbs? You put it all on Tibbs? Because to me, the players look like they was doing a lot of dumb stuff tonight.
Yeah,
the turnovers.
I'm just talking like big picture. We never really maximized this group. Like if you're gonna play Brunson and Cat together for as much as we do, with their defensive limitations, you got to be maxed out offensively. And I just don't feel like this group brings out the best in each other offensively. Early on in the regular season when we had the 30 assist games, like for a while, but they just don't maximize the offensive talent. It's just, I get the trade-off, but because of the defensive limitations. But if you're going to be limited like that, you have to be maximized offensively. And I don't feel like this group, 5 out, we ever got there. I feel like we're getting exposed.
Well, I think
I don't understand. But go ahead, Sam.
I think the thing is, I don't think you get totally there in one season.
Okay.
The same thing with Isaiah Hartenstein, right? We didn't see how they started to utilize him until year 2. Then you started to see him do so. I think you're not gonna. I don't think you're gonna see it all in one season.
Yeah, but I don't agree with just playing the same lineup the whole regular season and then come playoff time when the bullets are really flying and you got to make real life decisions. To me, I just like a guy that experiments more in the regular season, not plays every regular season game like it's the Super Bowl. Like I don't look at the regular season that way. I look at the regular season to get as much information as possible, try different lineups, try different things. The playoffs isn't the time to figure out, okay, let me do this and see if it sticks. I just feel like right now we're like trying to figure things out when we could have figured out a lot of this stuff early on.
Spree, I told you guys, I told everybody as soon as the season started, when we started off on that bad note in the sense of Mitchell Robinson not coming back till late December, Shamet going down, and then Precious going down, that I think that changed everything for Tibbs and his timeline to really dig deep into who's gonna be doing what.
Right.
I really believe that.
Right.
I think that was
don't get me wrong. Like we have
setback.
certain limitations personnel-wise with certain guys, and I get it's hard. I'm just saying I think Tibbs is to blame for some things here. I'm not saying he's all to blame, but I see some things in this coach that I don't like.
Okay. I personally think it's more of a personnel issue. And I don't think it's about experimenting in the playoffs. I think it's desperation. I don't think it's about experimenting.
But let me ask you this: Tibbs always says the game tells you what to do. I don't like if Josh Hart's not playing well, you can take him out. You don't have to. You don't have to continue to like. The game didn't tell you to give Josh Hart 36 minutes.
Right, and I think Josh Hart should have came out the game too, more tonight. But it all depends on what the coach thinks. If the coach doesn't think that, okay, like you might have a player where 50% of that player is better than the players you got on the bench, and if that's what the coach thinks, that's what he's going to play.
Can I just say one thing about Deuce McBride?
Yeah.
No, I'm with you, man. I'm frustrated. I'm trying to solve this puzzle here. I just look, Deuce McBride. You can look at the number. I don't even know how many minutes he played tonight. He didn't have the impact he did in the last game. I still believe, watching the way the Pacers play, I think Deuce McBride should be playing around 25 minutes. I know he didn't have much of an impact tonight. I actually would start Deuce McBride. I actually would. I think they've figured out the big lineup. The Pacers, I don't think you can play Cat and Mitch together. I think that's a recipe for a disaster. I also don't like the way we're guarding Halliburton. Like, what do we do? Like, why are we recovering and shell? Like, you got to switch screens and just, like, to me, we're making Halliburton's killing us with the pass.
Right. But see, I think when we were switching, then he was killing whoever he switched on to. And so you seen some of last game where instead of switching, like they would hedge it and then have the guard, whoever was guarding Halliburton, get back to him because Halliburton was isolating. They were switching everything, and so they would have Halliburton isolate on Karl Anthony Towns or on Mitch, and if that wasn't working, then isolate on Brunson. You know what I'm saying? So now they was like,
I prefer that and just fight than what I saw tonight, because tonight to me there was no adjustments in game. What
if we just can't guard him?
Yeah, I mean, some of it is we can't guard him. I'm giving Halliburton credit. He's a tough cover. I don't think Bridges can guard him at all, but I don't think we help Bridges at all either with these recovers and shows. I actually think that hurts Bridges. I think that made his life a lot more difficult. I personally think OG needs to cover him more, but I would switch more. I mean, there is no great solution, but I would switch more. But I'll just leave you with this. Look, we're all frustrated. I think big picture, though, obviously win Game 5. Give yourself another chance on the road. You got obviously win Game 5, extend this. We have the talent to win Game 5. I'm just saying big picture with this season. If you're going to have Cat and Brunson on the floor, which we know they're not good defenders, you have to maximize this team offensively. And I don't think we did that. Okay. We don't get the best out of Bridges, OG, Cat, and Brunson. Is it the players or is it the coach? Maybe it's both. I don't know. I'm gonna listen, and I appreciate you guys. Yeah. I'm just frustrated.
I mean, it's definitely both, because when you're Mikal Bridges and you get a pass, a long court basket, you're under the basket, and then you turn around and do a fadeaway with 4 Pacers coming to rebound, like, that's on the player. You know what I'm saying?
That's dumb. And he missed a layup, but yeah, he was fading away. He didn't need a fadeaway.
Right, and he fades away every time.
Line. Like, that's not coaching.
No, because he fades away every time he gets in the paint. He fades away, and so he doesn't get to the line. You know what I mean? So some of that, so that's obviously player. So now you got to figure, okay, well, if that's the type of shots, how do we utilize those shots to get him some free mid-range looks and things like that.
Sim also, remember early in the season when we were getting the 25, 30 assists a night, like not every game, but like that was like the goal for us, like every game. Like, to me, that was always my measuring stick. Obviously, you're not going to always do that every game, but look at the way the Pacers play, the way that the assist numbers compare to what we are. It's just, that's what you want. Like, this time of year, that's what wins. Like, so that's my frustration.
I guess
that we
I'll
can't
ask
do
this,
it.
because we look at the way the Pacers play, and it's smooth as a well-oiled machine. Boom, 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 boom. Right? Let's see if in year one, let's go back and look at year one Pacers with Rick Carlisle and not all of these players, but most of these players. Were they that smooth? Or did it take a progression before they got to be this smooth?
Well, how many years has this group with the Pacers been together? For the most part, when did Siakam get there? 2 years? 3 years?
2 years. So this probably their third year together.
Okay. No,
I hear you, man.
This their second. What year did Halliburton get there?
No, it's the second full year, right?
Second full year.
Well, but I think Halliburton got there the year before, and then Pascal was added last year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pascal and
That's
OG
fair.
came at the same time.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah, they came at the
Okay.
same time. But
No, to your point,
Tyrese
like
Halliburton
they've
was
had
there.
more time together than us. That's fair.
But like Tyrese Halliburton was there, and they were teetering on the playoffs and this and that, and then they made the trade for Pascal Siakam that they thought was gonna, help put him over the top. But I guarantee you, if you go back and look back then, I guarantee you it wasn't just a straight line like they was just all of a sudden boom. It takes some time for it to marinate. You got to think. Karl Anthony Towns and Mikal Bridges are brand new to that first five.
They are. All right. Look, I don't want to trade those guys. I'm not at the point of trading those guys. I get it. It was the first year of this team as currently assembled. I get that. I just think we have to have maybe it's not appropriate to do it now. I'm saying I still don't know if this is the right coach to get this group to the next. Look, we made the Eastern Conference Finals. We've never done that. I'm a greedy fan. I don't know if you like. Ultimately, the goal is to win a championship, not to get to the finals, to win a championship.
Right.
I don't know if he is the right guy, but I'm going to let you go. Let's win Game 5. Let's continue to be positive. It's very hard for me, but I love you guys, and you're the only reasons that I can get through this.
I appreciate you, man. No doubt, Spree.
All right, man. Peace.
Yes.
I mean, you'll never know. Any guy, any coach that we get, you're not gonna know if it's the right guy. You know what I'm saying? You might have a guy. I mean, you get Mike D'Antoni in here, we won't have a defense at all, but we'll have a great offense, maybe. You know what I'm saying? Who knows?
That's all they want.
Huh?
That's all some of the fans want.
Who knows? But Tony, I'm gonna head out of here, man. I'm tired.
I'm hungry. About to eat.
Yeah.
Get some rest.
But this is a point that I slip up. Said the caller's missing the point. It wasn't the coach. It was the team made too many turnovers. The Pacers scored 20 points off turnovers. Yeah. A lot of turnovers tonight. And turnovers that we didn't need to have. Trying to force passes, tip passes, lazy passes. You know what I mean? Canberry, think of his super chat. He said Carlisle didn't like coaching Luka and Brunson. They don't promote ball movement. Halliburton was perfect for him. Halliburton is his kind of a player. Definitely his kind of player. No doubt about that. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm good.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, appreciate your time, man. I'm gonna go get some rest after this one. Take it easy though. We got Game 5 coming up. We're gonna win Game 5. I still believe we can go 7 games. Once we get to Game 7, it's at the Garden. Let's just focus on that. Focus on the rest afterwards. Let's focus on getting to Game 7. Game 7. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm out. Peace.
This is MBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is MBK, nothing but Nick.